Where there is pain, let us bring joy. Where there is tears, let us bring happiness. Where there is hopelessness, may we bring hope and prayers. In a world where nothing makes sense anymore, in a world cluttered with confusion, distraction, and political correctness, which has gone wild like a train traveling 300 miles per hour into disaster. And the disaster is this: where do we draw the line with political correctness? Where do we draw the line? And I'll tell you why. We are living in a world where everyone claims to be victims. Everyone claims to be marginalized, disfranchised. Many of it are self-inflicted, whether for compensation claims or whether to give power to their own flagging political group. However, we can see the destruction of the political correct agenda when we begin to realize the laws that have been implemented and also the changes that are happening inside what was deemed a normal heterosexual tradition. There are now public transport which are catered only for women. You also have nightclubs where they have a zero tolerance. In other words, men are not allowed to talk to women. In these nightclubs, you're not allowed to talk to these women. Secondly, they are not implementing changes where you have only women, where it already happened, women only gyms, women only schools, etc. Now, anyone who's familiar with sociology, psychology, and history will realize whenever you have an all-male school, an all-female school, it's a breeding ground for lesbianism or homosexuality. Most boys or girls that have been to all-girls school or all-boys school tend to indulge in lesbianism or homosexuality, and they become our leaders. And these are the people who are laying down these rules that gender segregation is the way forward to eliminate sexual harassment. Where do we draw the line? Already we have nightclubs where you can't even talk to women. You have gyms for women only. You have public transport and coaches, etc., taxi service that caters only for women. Now we have Muslim only schools. We also have areas designed for homosexuals only. The government has invested taxpayers' money building a housing estate for gays only. And the contradiction of that is that a report stated that hate crimes towards LGBT has gone down to almost zero. There is no such thing as hate crime towards LGBT. And you think to yourself, if hate crime towards LGBT is so low in comparison to crimes regarding race, then why is it? And please note, that when I say race, you know, the figures for black men raping white women, excuse me, is not regarded to be a hate crime, a race crime, but more rapes are done by black men towards white women than white men to black women. Okay, but that's not seen as a hate crime. That's okay. But what's interesting is that the hate crime for LGBT is almost zero. Then why are we implementing all these shocking cultural, you know, subculture into mainstream heterosexual, you know, civilization? Why are we doing that? Something does not add up. Does it make sense to you? I'm sure that recently, I'm not in the news, everybody's claiming that they've been sexually harassed, and men are now jumping on the bandwagon and said they've also been sexually harassed as well. Now gays are coming forward saying that they also been sexually harassed. Everybody's jumping in on this victim mentality. I'm not justifying sexual abuse, please don't misquote me. What I'm saying, most of these incidences are 50 years old, 70 years old. And suddenly, because of Harvard, I think, because it's Hollywood, you know, pervert, suddenly it's opened up a can of worms where everyone claims that, you know, that they too are victims of this person. But and as a result, people are using that platform in which to strengthen the divide between male and female. Now, race relations, any fool knows it's not working, because the government are not pushing for race relations like they push for feminism, Islam and LGBT. These are the three unholy trinity that will destroy Western civilization, that will destroy Christianity and Europe as we know it. LGBT, hardcore feminism and Islam. And yet the government have no problem pushing those three unholy trinity that hate Jesus Christ. Yet it makes you question, race relationship is not working. That's obvious. Should we have an area, a public transport, a gym, the nightclubs for black people only, and stipulate this is an area for, I'm not talking about no ghetto with black losers. I'm talking about middle class areas, rich areas for black people only, you know, public transport for black people only, trains for black people only, because we're comfortable amongst our own. We don't want to have white stairs, and white people don't want to live near black people, or they're afraid they might be mugged. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? You know, this political correctness is driving people away for sinister purposes, rather than bringing people together and discussing our differences. Because I don't have to agree with LGBT, but it doesn't mean I want to kill you. I don't have to agree with LGBT, but it doesn't mean that you should come to my business, expect me to, you know, compromise my convictions. We come to a table and learn, you know, from each other, not bully, not try to create a tyranny of fear. And this is what's happening. This is what's happening. We now have an apartheid system in operation where through fear, like that, people are claiming they are victims of wolf whistling, sexual harassment. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. What I'm arguing is being blown. It's been blown out of picture. For the simple reason, the powers that be are deliberately trying to cause division between heterosexual males and heterosexual females. It's interesting that, I mean, look how pretty I am. I'm very beautiful, aren't I? Aren't I lovely? Right? So I get men chatting me up. Ever since I've lost weight, I get men chatting me up. But that's okay. That's okay. Men can come and chat me up. That's not a hate crime. That's not sexual harassment. But if a man goes to a woman and chat her up, that's a hate crime. Men can wolf whistle at me. No, I've had men, you know, whistling at me when they saw me. You know, I mean, look how beautiful I am. I've lost so much weight, right? I've had men wolf whistling at me. I mean, it's complimentary. You know, have someone whistle at you. It's complimentary. It's normal. You want to feel attractive. And I had, you know, some gay men, you know, whistling at me. You know, shocked when they saw how beautiful I am. But that's okay. That's okay, because they're gay. Women that I know get lesbian women chatting them up, and in fact lesbians are worse when they go chatting you up. They're worse than the men are, but that's okay because they're lesbians. When you begin to look at it, you begin to realize the laws, the hate laws, the segregation, the apartheid is made specifically for heterosexuals. It's not made for Islam, Muslims, it's not made for LGBT, and it's not made for hardcore feminists. It's, you know, which happens, I'm sorry to say, you know, to be lesbians. I'm writing a book on that. For all my videos which I've made, I'm putting it into a book format. So if YouTube shuts me down, my book will be out there, you know, because too many people have been shut down. Doctor of Common Sense, you know, lovely guy, you know, he got shut down. And this guy speaks the truth, you know, he's not into the political as garbage, and he got shut down. You know, a lot of people who got family values, you know, and believe in nationalism, you know, believe in heterosexuality, believe in Jesus, they're being shut down. You know, and this filthy liberal agenda, and there's more hate. There's more hate in the liberal agenda. The LGBT are the biggest racist out. Hardcore feminists has been exposed by black women that they are nothing more than a racist white female cult that is all about economic empowerment for white women. Right? Muslims, well, we don't have to go to Muslims. Everybody knows what Islam stands for. Right? And these are so-called minority groups. These are disfranchised groups. Even black people who scream racism. And yet they are the biggest killers of themselves. 94% of crimes done against black men are not done by the KKK. They're not done by the police. They're not done by the LGBT. They're not done by Muslims. All crimes done against black men are done by other black men. So the liberal agenda is not working. The LGBT are the biggest racist out. Hardcore feminists, white feminists, black women have exposed them as a bunch of racists. Where is this liberalism that's working? Everybody coming together like a beautiful flower. Look at my beautiful flower. Is it lovely? I love my flowers. If only the world could come together like me and my beautiful flower. If only the world could come together like me and my beautiful flower. Wouldn't it be a beautiful world? If the world could unite. But we're going that way. Apartheid, segregation. You begin to realize something does not add up. Political correctness is actually destabilizing the family, destabilizing the whole of humanity. You wonder why there's no revolution. You wonder why there's no mutiny. You talk to anybody about revolution, mutiny on the streets, you talk to them. They talk gobbledygook. They've lost their sense of patriotic spirit. They've lost their sense of fighting. They've been so brainwashed by this liberal agenda that people are scared to think. They're scared to think. There's a serious apartheid happening in the liberal agenda. People don't realize it. But we're not close as the liberals are trying to make out. There's a serious, dirty, filthy, wicked apartheid. You thought South Africa apartheid was bad. The Europeans are heading for serious apartheid. You watch this video and you mark it, because you'll see the truth of my words. Remember I said to you, I made videos, you know, way back, where I actually predicted that Britain will suffer a serious Brexit. I said, look, because you betrayed Jesus Christ in favor of Islam, because you crushed the church in favor of the mosque, as the Lord God will punish England, it will punish it. You know something, I said it way before they even started negotiations, and Theresa May was arguing, we got the single market, that failed. Everything she's trying to discuss failed. And I said England will suffer for kicking Christianity out of Britain. And so far, my words have come to pass. And I'm making another prophecy, and that is apartheid like we've never ever seen before is going to happen in Europe. Don't make all these wedding bells, you know, one of these white couple getting married. That's economics. That's economics. They want to get a mortgage, right? But it will let it be divorced, right? There's a serious apartheid happening in Europe. Males versus females, LGBT versus heterosexuals, blacks versus whites, Muslim versus the rest of the world. There's a serious apartheid. Where is this liberal agenda? Where is this liberal love? Where is this love like a dove flying together? Where is it? You shall be one. It's failing. Liberalism is failing. All it's done is create tyranny, where you can't even speak, you can't even talk, you can't even express your faith in Jesus Christ or the church or your nationalism. My book, which is coming out, is very devastating and shocking. You know, I attack political correctness and its contradictions. I don't think any black man has ever written a book on the dangers of political correctness, because I can see it. I can see from a Christian perspective. Anyway, I'm going to teach in a second, so I better get ready. Bye.